Hey everyone, this is Austin-Sensei, and welcome back to The Timers Reincarnated as a Slime. This is episode 10, and this was just a wonderful episode, and I'm very happy we get to finally see, the Oni forms of the other way of saying it, but, yeah, let's get through this. So we see Rimuru actually finally can taste food, which is a very happy thing for him, because he hasn't been able to taste food since, he was reincarnated. And, it was quite funny to see his face. He's like, food! And that's kind of how I am doing this video. I'm not going to lie. So I understand you, Rimuru. But we learn about the orcs trying to attack, Ben's village. And they were wearing armor. And it just kind of makes it seem that someone's behind it all. And is kind of assisting them. And we kind of figure out towards, the end of the episode. But anyways, we hear about, the Demon Lord. It could be a possibility that he's causing this. But it really, isn't. But anyways, we hear that only 6 of the 300 villagers of Ben's, village survived, and that's quite a massacre to say the least. And Shuna kind of knows a lot about, medical herbs and, cooking herbs, which is going to be a very beneficial thing towards the battle of, the orcs. But anyway, so we see Rimuru ask Ben if he wants to be a part of his community to kind of work underneath him as his, subordinate. And it takes a little bit for, Ben to think about it, but he accepts it with the whole contract ends after the orcs, which, the little spoiler, they're not gonna, but, actually, no, I'm not gonna spoil that one. But anyways, Rimuru actually gives them all the names, but he kind of blacks out while doing that all, and he absorbs all of his magic, and he didn't think it would, but since they are higher beings, it kind of takes more magic to name them versus the goblins, because goblins, as we all know, aren't very highly rated monsters, but we have ogres over here. But anyway, so we see the ogres turn into Kajin, or I like to call them Onis, but I do what I want, okay? And we see the redhead, obviously I've been calling Ben, is Ben. I'm not going to say his full name. I'm going to shorten these names because I really don't want to say them. I'm just going to be honest with you. But we see the princess's name is Shuna. Then we have Sinon, the purple hair, the busty one, the one I like. But the elder is Haku. Well, not that's a short name, but and the blue hair is Sau. Then we have the mean-looking one that looks like a middle-aged man, which is actually quite funny. I thought the best transformation, Kobe. And those are kind of the brand new names, and I'm very happy. And yes, the thumbnails of Sinon, you leave me alone. She's a beauty. I do what I want. But we see that the orcs are marching towards the lizards area, and there's about 200,000 of them. And we kind of see that the leader of the lizard men are talking about, like, how is this possible, and we hear about the Orc Lord and how he would be able to command him, and we see the tribeman, leader, his son, come out of nowhere, Gobru, and we hear that he was named after Lord Golmud, which was previously in the other episodes. In the beginning we learned that's who, one of the goblin's brothers was named after, because he saw promise in him. But anyways, we see that later on that Haku was teaching the goblins how to fight, and this was more for, Gaburo to learn swordsmanship, and those guys got messed up, and I couldn't stop laughing, like, dang, you guys didn't last a second, did you? But we see that Rimuru finally learns about, Orc Lord from Ben, because Ben starts to talk about what happened to the village. We see that Lord Goldman showed up earlier to kind of name everyone there, but, Ben didn't think it was trustworthy, so he turned him down, and he cursed him. Basically, we learned that Goldman's behind the entire attack on that, which is kind of weird about the Lizardmen, but, as I said, I'm not going to spoil stuff too ahead, but it's going to make sense, don't worry. But we see that the Lizardmen are coming towards the village to negotiate and kind of form this alliance with the goblins, but they don't realize it's more the goblins. And I can't wait for Goburo's shining moment next episode. I love it. They're going to do it exactly like the manga or better, I am hyped. You guys need to be hyped for it, because it's a hilarious thing, honestly. But anyways, so I know that was a quick rundown of what happened in the episode. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. I'm quite happy how this series is going, and the manga is really good. And it's just, I didn't think 8-Bit could take the manga and make it better. I'm going to say this is better than the manga. I know they're missing some parts, but they're going to make it work somehow, because as we've seen, it works somehow. They just do it correctly. And yes, there may be certain things like the shield not explained right away, but they're probably taking the opportunity to do that later, since it is 24 episodes, and it's probably going to get another season, especially off its sales. I mean, it dethroned Konosuba. It's outselling Overlord, a well-established series, and it's parroting off of the freaking series, and it's so good. But overall, this episode was kind of a cool down, and it's going to start building up, to say the least. In the next episode, we're going to start seeing the action starting to pick up, and overall, this series is just well done, and I think it's the best anime for fall anime. I know people like Rascal, but I like this because, I don't know, when I was watching Overlord, I love Season 1, but it took a different approach of what I thought it was until I went to go read the light novels, and I realized that's just how it is. But I know people get annoyed when I talk about Overlord and this, but they're literally the same thing. Remuto is just the peaceful and nice guy versus, Ainz, but I would love to see a crossover, I'm not going to lie. I know the whole debate about Ainz versus Remuto, and the thing is, I heard someone, Ainz has that undead thing, the dead thing that instantly killed things, but slimes aren't alive. Physical attacks don't really work that well on them. They're very annoying things to go against, especially Remuto is a high level one with a dragon in him, but overall, I don't want to hear that debate. Just say it in the comments before it happens, because I know it's been recently happening a lot more when I get that out there. But overall, I'm not going to be uploading as much as this week. I actually have quite a lot to do. I am going to try to push out more videos, so do look out for those next week. I think after this video, I'm going to have 2 more, but they're going to be towards the end of the week, so pay attention for that. But anyways, I am working on a mega video that I promised. I am actually going a little secret. It is, I'm getting interviews with certain things. It's about a certain situation about a certain streamer, but that's for another time. But anyways, guys, this is, Austin-Sensei, signing out. Peace.